I'm Glenda, 'cause I take videos of you. Makes sense. Typically, Glendas take videos of people. I, I, you can't get enough of whenever Japan tries to have English characters, and you always wonder, why can't you just ask somebody that is fluent in English, does this sound right? They never do. It's like you have plenty of you have Crunchyroll at least you can call and say, hey, what's going on with this? Does this sound right to you? But hey, if they did that, then we wouldn't get the laughs out of it. That's for sure. So yeah, I just got done with the 7th episode of I'm Standing on a Million Lives, and this is my thoughts on the episode. So yeah, jokes aside about Glenda, I do think this episode was surprisingly filled with some cool insights into essentially what's going on with this particular whole situation. And that was really kind of centered around Glenda. So Yatsuya meets Glenda. They both go to his place, where she pretty much explains the fact that she likes to travel around, and she communicates a lot online, and she ends up finding four people online specifically that she's talked to that all seem to have the same description of the same world. She's like, I know who you guys are because I've heard about this other world. I've heard of these people that travel. They all have the same story. And she lists an American, a French woman, an Egyptian, and a Japanese person. And the Japanese person that she describes is obviously Tokitate. But specifically interesting here is that there's 3 other people across the world that have been actually traveling to this world. She specifically points out the French woman who she's actually attracted to, and we have to find out twice in this episode. By the way, she's attracted to women. Just so you guys know, Glenda's attracted to women. She wants everybody to know that. But anyways, she said that she had a crush on this French woman, and unfortunately, she died from heart failure. And she said the last things that she said, she completed the 4th mission, and she was going to go to complete the 5th mission, and that's when she lost contact with her. And so it's basically implying that this French woman went to the 5th mission, failed, and died of heart failure. That's the conclusion that they're coming to at this point. So it is implying the idea that she could have completed the mission and then had heart failure, but it is implying the idea that if they fail this mission, they die, that they actually do die. And it's implying that at least with this woman, it's heart failure, or maybe it might be some other kind of random death that actually happens to them that causes them to die in the real world. They end up coming up with the plan that Glenda is going to record a video of them basically reenacting their adventures in this other world, in hopes that if they post this online, that eventually it's going to go viral, and that people that pretty much see it and go, hey, they're doing exactly what I did, they must have had the same experience I did, they'll reach out and they can talk to them. And sure enough, they briefly show that somebody says, hey, I know the world they're in, and it quickly jumps to them going to the 5th mission. So apparently we're not going to get into, who this person was. Maybe they'd contact right at the moment they had to go back to the other world in order to do their next mission. But yeah, they get there. That's when, it was funny because when I posted the last video, and I'd already recorded my last impressions videos, I was like, oh, that's right. I did notice the fact that Hokozaki had a different outfit, and I don't remember her having ever upgraded her actual class. And sure enough, it was for a reason. We don't find it out until now that yes, Hokozaki actually leveled up when she shot the queen, and that gave her the heavy warrior class. So now she's changed her class, and so now she has more armor. She says it's too heavy, so she doesn't use it. Glenda gets assigned a class, and that ends up being a axe warrior. So now we have like our 4th warrior at this point. But this is when they are assigned their next quest. They are actually given a choice between 2 different quests. One being to reduce the rainbow stare addiction in the kingdom of Goldia to less than 3% in 90 days. I'm guessing rainbow stare addiction is some kind of drug that they have there that they need to, I guess, get rid of. But the other one, which is the B option, is to stop the destruction of the village of Zolgroth, and that they only get 30 days for. And while Yatsuya's like, the easier one usually has complications, and he's trying to decide, sure enough, Tori jumps up and says, oh, we'll do B. And it's like, okay, I guess we're doing B. Accepting that this is their quest, they go to find out where the village of Zolgroth is, and so they decide to go see Kahabel again, which, my gosh... The moment they said, let's go ask Kahabel, I'm like, are you people really this stupid? she's obviously probably not going to be alive at this point. Wait, have we not established that there is a time jump here? A very significant time jump here. Now, granted, it was only like a 17-year difference between, I think, both jumps. So yeah, she could have been an elderly lady, but it's just one of those things where it kind of solidifies the moment that they see somebody that looks like Cowbell and they go, hey, it's you. And it's like, no, that's going to be her daughter or granddaughter at least. I mean, come on. And yeah, sure enough, it's her. She's already passed away. And again, this surprises them. Why? I don't know. We're not dealing with the smartest group of characters here in this particular story. But yeah, at least this technically continues to solidify Yatsuya's inner struggles as essentially this daughter goes, look, I'm happy to help you guys. The adventures my mom had with you guys was pretty much the pride of her life. This was the moment of pride in her life that she's always held on to. And I'm happy that she probably is overjoyed that I'm helping you. And this, again, hits Yatsuya in the idea of why was this a prideful time in her life when I was just using her, right? And so, yeah, he's, again, having these inner conflicts about how he treats other people based on the experiences that he has with these folks in this other world. This, along with what happened to Ayu and Hokazaki's statements against him about how he treats them like people, unlike them. Additionally, there was some kind of weird exchange between Shindo and Yatsuya when they were in the real world doing the filming for the video. She technically does imply that what it is, it seems like when he was talking with them and filming the video, his friends were joking about the fact that he wasn't using his native tongue, or his accent, so to speak, from where he's from, and this was kind of throwing them off. So they were laughing about the fact that he was actually speaking normal with them, whereas he normally has a dialect. And this kind of, and they translated it a little weird. After the filming, Shindo goes to Yatsuya and says, "So where's my pay? I'm a model, so you have to pay me something. My time is worth money." And this is like a joke to him, and he's a little thrown off. And she's like, "Okay, well, in payment, no longer be polite." And it's, like I said, it was like, that didn't translate very well. It does make sense in the idea that he's speaking formally rather than with a dialect, and that usually typically means that he's being more formal. And so maybe the translation is really kind of in the idea that she's telling him, stop being so formal with your speech patterns and be more comfortable with your actual native tongue. You're free to use your dialect. You're free to speak casually with us. So that's where I'm kind of getting from that conversation. But there was a few directions that they were hitting Yatsuya with this particular episode, and I do appreciate that. They did end up running into after they left the daughter, they went on the wagon. At some point, they had to get out of the wagon. They're having to go on foot. They run into a goblin, and obviously, Tori just jumps in there and starts attacking, ends up doing terrible, gets knocked out. Everybody has to jump in. And as Tokitate and Hokozaki are being attacked, or Hakozaki is being attacked, Glenda just runs in and chops the thing's head off. So apparently she's like mad OP, or unless she just got the jump on him. Apparently a level 1 axe warrior is able to take out something in a single shot, which to the mechanics of this world doesn't necessarily make sense to me, but whatever, that's fine. But this is when Yatsuya uses his chef ability to find out this is actually a D rank goblin when they're typically, I think, F or E rank. So it does seem like even the lowest ranking monsters right now are higher ranked than they normally were. So it's almost as if the world itself is leveling and advancing as time goes on. Obviously, you have later on missions are going to be more and more difficult. It does seem like the world level itself is going up. It was weird just before this fight with the goblin. Tori notes that Yatsuya changed his class. I don't remember him getting a Heat Wizard class. I think he did. I'm trying to remember. I know that after he got Chef, he got some kind of class. I think he was Farmer. I think he was Farmer, Heat Wizard, then Blacksmith, or Chef, then Blacksmith. I think that was the order in which he got. I don't remember. I know that he's gotten several classes, and I think one of them was a combat class. I don't remember it being Heat Wizard, though. I thought it was something else. I'll have to look back and look at that. But at any rate, while they're talking about the level of this monster, this girl ends up running away from them, from the bushes. They go to find out where she went. She went to a nearby kind of hut out in the middle of nowhere. And she basically says that she thought that they were somebody from the village of Zalgoth. So obviously she's fleeing from whoever these people are. There's something going on there. they eventually ask her to show them where it's at. And while they are kind of taking a break, this guy ends up showing up, which is this girl's father. And he's got some kind of parasite on his head, and he's being controlled by it. So that's where they're basically leaving at. It looks like this, whatever this village is that is on top this huge pillar, is apparently being controlled by a parasite. And she apparently at some point fled from the village. So they're going to have to go wipe out this parasite. So interesting direction to go. Like I said, I was a little bit concerned about if they were going to be able to jump right into the next mission already. It does seem like this is supposed to be a very difficult mission based on the idea that there is this other lady apparently attempted this mission and failed. So I guess is also the question is which mission did she choose? She could have chose the other mission and maybe got killed by a bunch of drug smugglers. I don't know. But yeah, that's my thoughts on episode 7 of I'm Sending on a Million Lives. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. Comment, let me know what you thought of the episode. Subscribe if you haven't already. Support us on Patreon if you can. And y'all take care.